everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Nightmare Toys podcast. Today is a special podcast. We have Trick or Treat Studios with us, Chris Zephro and Justin Mabry. And this week is the Halloween Expo here at the Mirage in Las Vegas. And the most anticipated booth is always the Trick or Treat Studios booth. So, Chris, why don't you tell us about some of the new products coming out this year?
So we've got a bunch of new action figures, collectibles, one-to-one scale props. We did some new stuff from the Munsters,
the
Toxic Crusaders, a bunch of Halloween 3 things.
Yeah, the Ouija board was my favorite.
The Halloween 3 one.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
So cool.
Vacuum form masks look great.
I do all of my all of my executive decisions are made with that Ouija board.
Yeah.
Or actually, I think we should call it a witch board.
There you go, witch board.
Talking board, I've heard.
Yeah, talking board.
Yeah.
And it glows in the dark, too. So
it does glow in the dark, yeah.
It's designed to look like it was created at Silver Shamrock Studios.
We also finally debuted the Werepups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only took us 2 years to really nail down. We could have done them cheap, I guess, for lack of a better word, more plastic, kind of plasticky, but we really wanted to retain what the originals look like. So they're almost one-to-one now because they're also made in silicone. We debuted the Ghost of Halloween. Those statues are amazing.
Those are so cool.
The Ultimate Chucky doll, I think I mentioned that, and the Halloween 3 trio in 1/6 scale.
Yeah, 1/6 scale Halloween 3, and then we have the 1/6 scale
2018. Yeah, that turned out really good.
Well, tell us about the Ultimate Chucky. Like, tell us about what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, so we wanted to do it in a way where you can have one body, because the body doesn't change too much from film to film. So we use these really strong industrial magnets, and the head and the hands are interchangeable. So you're now able to buy separate heads. So there's a neutral head, the melted head, and you can interchange the heads. It comes with a pretty evil-looking Child's Play 2 head, and the eyes move. You can move the eyes, and it comes with the voodoo knife. Yeah, it's really cool.
And he can hold the knife, too, so that's really exciting.
He can hold the knife.
His hand's a little more grippy, and he's got a magnet. So we figured after, 4 dolls we made complete.
Correct.
People might start getting, a whole nother one I got to buy. So we basically like a Build-A-Figure almost. You can buy the Ultimate Chucky, and then you can order the blasted face and stick that on there. You can,
And I like how it's magnetized, because that just makes it easy to put it on there.
We also did the plush.
Off.
Yeah, the hair, so you can do the eyes.
You can take the top of the head off, and you can adjust his eye
Nice.
position.
That's cool.
We also did the plush version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do a plush one for a long time, because there's many scenes in the movie where Andy's walking around and it's flopping around. It's a plush doll.
Right.
It's also significantly less expensive, but not less cool in terms of the quality and accuracy. I'm trying to go through the booth in my head and think of all of the new stuff. It's been
one of my favorite
crazy
things.
day.
The Munsters were fun.
They were really
Those
good.
look so good.
Sculpted by Alex Ray.
Yeah,
those are super cool. So Alex, he sculpted the masks, the Munsters
he sculpted
masks?
those 3 masks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did he do it digitally, or did he do it with clay, or does he?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, he did clay and then he scan it. And then
I don't know.
Not so
give
much.
that away.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Well, I just only knew of him as doing the action figures and stuff, mostly in ZBrush. Did he wax?
No, I originally hired him to do masks. I mean, he did action figures on the side.
Yeah.
But he had, how it started was, we followed each other on Instagram, but he had done the Haunted Mask already, and we got the license. And I was already talking to him, and I thought, well, why don't we just put yours out? It's already done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did 4 or 5. He did Arseface. He did Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he started doing a couple more, and then he was on the team. And then when we both were shopping Chucky around, we finally found factories that could make things other than just latex. So one little step, once you put yourself out there, you'll find new people and new people and new people. So Alex already made action figures. I made action figures. So we did some prototypes and
Because I've seen some of the like action figures that you've made, like of just like cool characters and stuff that like I enjoy, and a lot of that stuff you did before Trick or Treat, right? So you were already into it before doing tots.
It's like I call it like the 10-year lifespan of things. It's like I started masks, and then once I had a business for 10 years, I was ready to do something different. That's when Trick or Treat came in, but I was already making action figures and sculpting the bodies and making all the parts. So I thought I wanted to do figures small and full size. But once we started Trick or Treat Studios, there was no time for any of that.
Right, yeah. But now...
But we knew we were coming back.
We knew we were going to do it, yeah. We even shopped factories year one, or year 1.5. We were already talking to factories that made action figures. And that it's... Until you actually make action figures, you don't realize how much work it is and how long it takes.
Yeah.
That's why, I respect anybody that puts anything out.
Yeah. That makes anything.
Most of the time.
Right. But I mean, when you get into trying to make anything, like no one has any idea what goes into making almost anything, and then you get into it,
After you get through the licensing hoops,
and
they might even ruin your figure. I won't name any names, but like when it's right, and then you keep sending it to someone, they keep saying change this, and you still want to make a certain figure, you have to make those changes, or you just can't make it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, people are gonna hate this, or they may like not even notice. But
right, but you'll know.
Yeah, I'll know. So it's, and then it takes almost 8 months to a year, maybe longer, to get a figure complete, because you do the sculpture that gets approved finally, and then that goes over, and then they make the molds, and they have to send you stuff back to review, and if it's wrong, it's got to go back, and then it's got to go through the whole. It's just up the flagpole and down over and over and over, and so finally something's done. And if something comes back, and we look at it and think, they got that wrong, or that got missed, or wish we would have done this, we'll actually make the change and delay it a little bit longer. You know that,
right?
Yeah, because if it's not right,
because it's not right.
Of course.
I would rather something take a tiny bit longer and be right than something that I didn't like and it's wrong and nobody's happy.
Right. Yeah.
Because you'll forget about the weight after you get it.
Yeah. Most importantly,
that's
that
what
you're
I try
happy
and tell
too.
some of the pre-order people when we're trying to change something to make it better.
Yeah. It's like making like a movie or a television show or whatever. Things get
like reshoots.
Yeah, because you want it to be right. You want it to be good. So people flip out when a show takes too long for the new season to come out, and it's like, well, they're working on it. They're trying to make it better for you.
We just
Going back to Alex Ray, by the way, we also re-released the the Goosebumps line.
Oh yeah, the Haunted Mask. I was excited to see that.
Yeah, all of the ones that we had. So I was excited, and we also brought back Corpse Bride.
Yeah,
because that finally came out of the Warner Brothers vault.
It's nice to see after so long. You discontinue something, and it's valuable, and people are looking for them and paying $200-300 for something. You're like, we could bring that back.
Yeah. Well, Mad Monster Party, please. I just got a Fang that finally popped up in Paris.
I have some of them if you want.
We have
I want all of them.
I can get you a set.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mad Monster Party.
So are we. We had higher hopes for that.
Yeah. It was like I've been looking for a Fang forever, and like it was like finally one popped up, literally Paris. So I was like, I'm gonna order a Tots mask from Paris right now because I have to get it.
I have those. I can.
That Andromeda 3 I have came from Russia.
Yeah, I remember you told me. Yeah, the Andromeda 3 is a Distortions Unlimited mask, and it's probably my favorite that they've ever put out. And I've only seen one in my lifetime, and the owner has it. Yeah. The owner's sitting here.
Ed and I were looking for you today, like multiple times. So hopefully you'll be able to hook up. I call him Ed divided by 2 now because he lost like 50 pounds. I hardly recognize.
Did you see them walking around today?
Yeah. I did. I actually ordered a bunch of Distortion props for my front yard haunt.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I do. I have a ton of them that I put out every year.
Yeah, they're great people. It's funny that we landed on Andromeda 3 because that was one of the things I was going to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But,
I asked, where'd you get that? And they were like, well, I ordered it out of Fangoria in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
They were definitely a big inspiration for us.
Yeah.
That and the original Don Poe Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Don's great.
Who's that?
Distortions? Well, Morris Costumes had a booth.
Yeah,
and they kind of distribute all of their stuff. So there was a lot of their products there.
They're big booths at Transworld.
Yeah.
That's true. That's where they'll sell directly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just let Morris handle it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great people, and their products have always been awesome.
We also did Cobra Commander, right?
Yeah,
from G.I. Joe.
We have some G.I. Joe in the
cool.
works. Some more Dungeons and Dragons are in the works.
New Gremlins. We had 3 of those.
Oh, yeah,
Lenny, Daffy, and what was Lenny?
Gizmo.
And
From-
Gizmo,
from- from New Batch,
Those
yeah.
turned out really good. And we switched those. We were originally making them in the latex factory. We switched them to our toy factory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they're really cool. I'm trying to think what else is on that.
Fear Street, and then Psycho Gorman.
Yeah,
Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman, which comes directly from Steve, and then Fear Street, which comes directly from Van Dyke and Nelson. So those are right out of the Screen Use molds. And then we've got the light up ornaments. Slipknot, we
Slipknot.
just debuted Slipknot. I was hoping that we would have more of them here.
No, we have the amount we need.
Okay, so there you go.
Well,
but there are going to be more.
Of course, there's
Yeah.
9 members.
Right.
You focus on 2 really strong ones while the other ones are being made. There's a lot of parts in these.
No,
Slipknot
I know
masks.
they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're really unmakeable.
Yeah.
But we're finding ways.
As
Figuring
far
it
as
out.
all intent and
If
purpose,
anyone's gonna do it,
they were assembled by
They can't be
hand.
made in just one factory because there's so many little parts and pieces, and those fans, those fans will
You don't
they'll
wanna
let you
screw
know.
those up.
They'll let you know if they don't like them.
yeah.
We also did my
far-
favorite, the one that you did, the witch from Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Scooby
that
Witch
was
is
so
my
favorite
amazing.
by far.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
mask.
It has his
That's my
hand.
favorite mask.
It has
My
his
favorite
handprint
episode.
all over.
Oh
it.
yeah, that one's the whole Scooby line is like my favorite.
insane.
Those
Yeah.
2 new originals from Jasper, I'm
Yeah.
very excited about. The
Oh yeah, they're really
haunted
cool.
ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghost
And the pirate.
pirate. That's
Where
what I meant.
is
The
the
ghost
pirate, by the way?
Well, it wasn't. He didn't have one made yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
We-
yeah.
But it's
'Cause
all.
I was
I've-
hoping it was there. What did we end up calling that thing? Glob? The one that is
I
there.
think it is Glob.
Glob.
Yeah, both of those are awesome. I've wanted that pirate since he was posting it. I'm like, oh,
That
I'm
was
in
a
a
last
huge
minute
Blaine Gibson
addition.
fan.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pirate.
I'm really happy that you're doing that.
Yeah, his stuff's great.
He's
And
working
it's
on that.
got like a haunted mansion vibe to it.
Oh yeah.
All of the stuff that he
Really, I
does.
didn't notice.
You didn't
Yeah, it's like it's like a Pirates of the Caribbean, pirate, but
Yeah.
with like a haunted mansion car
Yeah, yeah,
scheme, which is just
exactly.
like Blaine
Really cool.
Gibson all over.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. I think my favorite thing out of everything though that I saw was the 15-inch Frankenstein statue,
Oh,
because
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
It's been teased and put out there for like over a year now, but like seeing that in person was, oh my gosh, it was so cool.
with the interchangeable
Yeah,
heads.
same thing,
that's-
magnetic
it's
head.
spectacular.
Yeah, William's the best.
He is.
Yeah.
And
Even
the
just that little
Ghost of
skull on there.
Halloween
is so cool.
Yeah, the
figures that he did
Oh, yeah.
are my personal favorite. But I've always been a huge fan of what Halloween costumes look like in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
It's the
found
scariest.
the original picture that he based that like pig-looking thing on.
bear. Yeah.
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 Really
Did
cool.
you see that?
Yeah.
The original
Creepy.
picture?
Actually, when you showed it to
Yeah,
Justin
yeah.
earlier, I was
Yeah.
over his shoulder
Yeah,
and
it's
saw
really
it.
cool. All of the stuff that they made back then were all kind of handmade paper mache.
I love it,
They
yeah.
were so creepy.
Yeah, one of my old band, we used to always just Google vintage child Halloween costume and just
Oh,
find
they're
all these.
so cool.
They're the scariest, creepiest things for
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
a band poster or
Yeah,
something.
no, they were crazy with the big heads and the kind of that paper mache dark
gauze.
vibe. Yeah,
Wood.
yeah,
Like
just
the
for
bear
one
has
night.
nails between each finger.
yeah. The original did too, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing's really cool.
Weird looking. And then the bride and Frankenstein costumes and masks too.
Yeah, those turned out really good. So that's one of the things that we wanted to do with our costumes is make them more complete. We really like the box costumes too, where you kind of get everything in there. So with the Frankenstein, you get the jacket, the shirt, the pants, and the vacuform mask adjusted, and then the bride with the wig and the shirt and the
cool,
shoulder
yeah.
pads, and it's perfect.
It
It's
is.
I love that the
best
wig is
one.
red
yeah, it's
Yeah.
correct.
and not black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, my mom actually wore that for Halloween, and she was a huge hit.
Oh,
but
cool.
I told her, I'm like, Mom, you have the only sample. I need you to send it back
Yeah.
for the trade show. Yeah, she wasn't happy about that, but I said I'll
Oh,
give it
that's
back
funny.
to her.
Well, while we're on the subject of Bride of Frankenstein, we're talking masks and all that. Can we get an Elsa Lancaster likeness mask for collectors like me?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah. I know. I feel like throughout
That's what
history,
you
it's
want?
mostly.
Well,
that's what I want.
Me too. That was my biggest crush.
Well, because I'm a
growing
collector,
up.
you know. I wear masks, you know, sometimes, but I like them. I like them on the shelf, and so I got all my Universal monsters, but I don't have a bride.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
we
she's
gotta
going to
get
be
you
this
one.
tall.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, we have the wig.
I got big shelves.
We have the wig, so it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elsa Lancaster and Betty Page, my top two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. But yeah, that would.
Yeah, how'd you
that
like
would be
Lily?
really-
The way Lily turned out.
Lily
awesome.
was amazing.
Because she'd be in the vein of that. Like
Yeah.
she'd be sort of
Yeah.
in that style.
It's
Grandpa's my
tricky
favorite
he's
of the
here.
trio.
He's
Yeah,
the
but
best.
He
Mine
looks
too.
great.
Yeah.
Came out
The
awesome.
detail on it's really good, and the
Yeah.
colors are really nice.
Already got texts from Dan Robot going, "These are great. I want the set, and you better do ours."
Aw.
Yeah.
Right.
He was so
Sure.
happy to be in that Rob Zombie Monsters movie. It
Yeah.
was just like the thrill of his life. I think he probably would have done it for free.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
right.
excited to
That's
see
awesome.
it. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't like I didn't like jump on it immediately. I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice, and you know, blah blah blah. But then when Rob Zombie started posting all the like pre-production and behind the scenes stuff, I'm just getting like really excited
He's
for
a
it now
huge
because it
fan,
looks
too.
really
Huge
cool.
fan.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
if he-
Dan's one of the biggest collectors of Monsters memorabilia.
Really?
that I
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
He's got posters like 8-foot posters in
Yeah,
his
you can tell it's a big
house.
passion project, so I think that they'll do it justice. I'm really excited.
I-
for
That,
it.
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think Rob publicly has said what the premise of the film is.
Right.
But
Why don't you
it's-
tell everybody?
I'm not telling you. You would kill me.
It's funny. Yeah, I was at
ahead,
Dan.
you
But
can
it's
tell us.
so he told us, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
He'll do it. He'll do it great justice because he is a total fan.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I'm excited for
Yeah,
it.
I am.
I'm on board now.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
it's gonna be great. I no doubt that
Yeah.
he'll
So,
do
yeah,
a killer job with it.
Dan's been in all of his movies, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was over at Dan's one day, and I said, "So has Rob put you in his new movie?" He goes, "You're standing right next to it." Like, I looked, and the costume was hanging on the door.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
That was a long time ago. You know. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, really?
Couple
I'm
years
so
ago.
happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know, it's one of those things where you now have knowledge. I wish I didn't. But now everybody knows, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be releasing some stuff for it too. We just got to get all the materials when they're
Yeah.
ready. Most
Yeah.
likely the costumes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be exciting. I love the hairdos look so cool,
yeah,
and that the prosthetic
Wayne
headpiece. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks so cool.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it should be fun.
yeah, I'm excited for
What
it.
else is coming out that's new that wasn't at the show today, though, that you can talk about?
That I can talk about.
I can give you a big
Okay.
one.
What is it? Whisper it. What?
That one.
Say again? Oh, is that 100%?
Yeah.
If it's 100%, go ahead. But if it's not,
Well, it's not signed yet, so
Well,
maybe I
would-
should wait till it's
I'd
signed.
wait. This probably heard you. Too.
Yeah, I know he probably heard it, so let's delete that.
Well,
so
the,
to answer your
the
question,
caveman just made.
Oh
it.
yeah,
the
it just
cave-
showed
oh,
up
yeah,
here.
yeah. That
The
was
cave-
So
Caveman.
we also did Phantom of the
the
Opera,
Phantom,
Mask of the Red
Mask of
Death,
the-
sculpted by Alex.
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Phantom
Which?
from Paradise.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
That one's gonna be really cool.
Oh, Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
yeah. No, I mean we've been looking
That's
for
cool.
the license or
Yeah.
forever.
If you
Yeah.
know who
So
owns
if you
it,
know who
come
owns-
to
yeah,
us.
come
please.
to us.
Yeah.
So that's why we're just releasing it, but we hope you arrive.
Yeah. Well, since you're getting into
Looking for
more
10 years.
Yeah.
Well, someone has the distribution rights for the movie, but not for merchandising. And
Yeah.
then you're trying to figure out who owns that, Chud, and a couple other things.
Listen, I talked to the producer of the film, and he told me it was the person who has the distribution rights, and they're like, we don't have the merchandising rights. So sometimes, if you try and try and try and try it, at some point you're just like, you know what, we'll release it, and hopefully they'll appear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you answered my prayers last year by bringing out the Ghoulies.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
so
that was an
exciting for
8-month
me.
prayer.
Now, I need a critter.
You need a critter?
I need a critter.
Let's see. We'll see what we can do about that.
I think we might be able to make that one
Oh,
happen.
that's one I've been saving because I have a team built the critter. I have friends that worked on critters and the guys that built the critters, and I wanted to wait till everyone has an open schedule to just knock out some critters.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
that'd be really cool.
So the ghoulies I did with Mabry Lobos. He did the cat.
Really,
I did
really
the
good.
fish ghoulie, but he works in Atlanta 8 months out of the year, so he's back and forth on the show he does. So yeah, we'd get together and man, that was a hard clay using that. I usually use Chavant medium. I usually use
sculpted the whole body and everything was insane.
So doing that while doing all the other things I was doing and art directing is very difficult to get that little ghoulie done.
Yeah,
Plus,
I can imagine.
it came out great.
The original looks really cool on screen, but once you really dissect it, you're like, wow, okay. It still looks great, but let's see if we can throw a few things in there that make it a little more interesting in your hands.
It looks
I'm
better.
trying to think what else wasn't there that's coming.
Are you
Definitely
gonna do
the
the
Rob
rat
Zombie
ghoulie?
monsters.
We got.
Yeah, well, that's a
the
little ways off
cat.
until
Yeah.
he gets
We need the third ghoulie.
done with that.
Mm-hmm.
What's
So you need the rat ghoulie.
Yeah, the rat.
The
Well, there's
rat.
5.
We have
or
the
6.
mask, right?
There's Speedy, that's the little alligator guy. We were going to do
yes.
him, but we want to see how well these do. So move a lot of those, and we'll make.
Okay.
We had
Okay.
to. We,
I can
we
do
sold
that.
out.
The
of
cat,
it.
and the, rat, the cat and the rat are the same body. So I already had plans to have Mark
Okay.
do the rat head to go on the cat body, because all he did was change the tails and the fur pattern.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We are taking orders for the Halloween Ends mask and costume.
Oh.
Yeah.
Costume,
Obviously,
huh?
we couldn't show it,
Yeah.
but it's approved. Yeah. So
Good.
that will be out in October.
Well,
People
Myers
will
fans will
buy
be
it.
happy about that.
Yeah.
They don't need to see what it looks
I'm
like. They'll
sure-
just buy it no matter
yeah.
what. So.
Yeah, it'll do well, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every Myers mask that y'all put out always just sells like crazy. See, bread and butter of the industry.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate.
It's kind of what brought everybody here.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Michael Myers has been at the center of most things. I know this guy. Maybe you. I don't know. I met you at Monsterpalooza.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. That was around when Myers was getting popular again.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, there's the Iron Maiden mask,
And we
the
have
Shinjuku.
2 new Iron Maidens, and we have Slayer.
Yeah, that one.
Slayer.
Labadi's
Sweet.
working on the Slayers.
Yeah, the goat.
That'd be
And
cool.
Oh yeah.
the helmet guy is in the catalog.
It's in the catalog. You
but
just
I don't think the
didn't get
goat
to the
is.
show.
Yeah, the goat's really cool.
Speaking of helmets, can we get? This isn't horror related at all, but
No.
I've always wanted, and I already asked you about it. You said you know someone who has a mold, the Rocketeer helmet.
Oh, yeah.
I
we
would-
need that
I would
one day.
Kill someone for a good Rocketeer helmet at an affordable price.
Maybe we'll do that now that we have factories that can make it.
That'd be really cool. I'm gonna, once every quarter,
I
I'll
know a
bug
few
you
people
about
with
it.
Rocketeer molds.
Yeah, Rocketeer helmet would be sick. And then
I
you
love
can,
the
then you can do the
movie, and-
jetpack.
and
You can do the whole
David
costume.
Stevens, I mean, his comic books were the greatest.
Yeah.
He was a really cool dude.
I was in a movie with the Rocketeer.
Really?
The guy who played him, the actor.
Yeah, Billy.
That's cool.
What's his name?
What movie was it?
Well, you barely see me. It was The Rising Place.
Yeah.
He was one of the leads.
Yeah.
He's the main military guy, and I'm one of the soldiers behind him.
I'm gonna
in
go
the movie.
watch it.
Yeah, it's just a little
Go
extra
find
part,
it.
but he was really cool, really nice.
Yeah.
It's funny. He was in all full military uniform, all the way down, and he had shorts on and sandals.
Oh, wow.
Well, they weren't filming that half.
Yeah, they weren't filming his
Yeah.
legs, so he looked pretty weird walking around with his long sleeves and his.
That's cool.
Billy Campbell, right? Campbell.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is what it is.
Bill
I was
Campbell.
drawing a blank, but yeah.
Really nice guy.
I'm trying to think what else wasn't there that's in the catalog.
Well, there's a lot of figure stuff that will be at the
Lot.
next show. Will be at the Toy Fair.
They just canceled
They just
Toy Fair
canceled
New
it.
York.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, then just
So
tell
there
us all
won't be
about
a
it.
Toy
They just
Fair.
announced it today.
Well,
but it will
Halloween-
be in our spring catalog, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween 6 is not on display because
It's in the catalog now.
it's in the catalog. So basically, having to get all these pieces to and from back from our factory, or everything's sent over there. Now we have to show it. So send me some stuff back. So they sent what they have finished,
And then
and
you have to send it back.
then you have to send it
Right.
back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so a few of them we didn't get to put out because some parts were not in the box.
Ah, I have one.
Okay.
The Toxic Avenger. That we signed.
Yeah, the new one.
The new movie.
Oh,
With
right.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Elijah Wood. Who else is in it? There's a couple other big names.
Kevin Bacon, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, no,
Oh, wow.
we'll be coming out with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I think they're
Kevin Bacon, is he?
I'm not entirely sure. I know that they're kind of. I believe it's shot. I don't know if all the visual effects are done. They're targeting Q4 of this year, but it might, if they don't hit it, then it will be Q3 of the following year.
Oh, okay.
But that's signed, so that's one.
All
yeah,
right.
there you go.
That'd be cool.
That's your yeah.
People like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be really good. I mean, there seems to be a really big resurgence on Toxic Avenger, even the Crusader. I still to this day can't believe that they made a Saturday morning cartoon.
I know.
Well, it was very positive.
I totally agree with
neighborhood.
that. But what if the kids go, oh look, Mom, check this out.
This is one of them.
I saw Toxic Crusader.
Well, I saw Toxic Avenger first.
Can I see the original movie?
Like 8.
And they would have had a heart attack. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw that movie, I couldn't believe that
I knew what it was
you were
because I'd
allowed
seen
to
the movie.
make a movie like that.
I remember the first time I watched it too. I was like, "What?"
No, it was
watching?
great.
Very wild.
I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
We did that Killer Goats mask too. That turned out really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to see the picture.
Looking.
Yeah. So that's a movie with Kane Hodder stars. It's the main villain.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about the Halloween 3 trio boxed. Like the box costumes are, the masks are glow in the dark, and then we'll have them singles that are non-glow. That's something that Sam
those are
we
in
all
the
worked
catalog
on.
Too.
Yeah, those are in the catalog.
Yeah, you can only get the glow in the dark versions of the injection masks if you get the costume. But the costume's cool. It's like the skull. It's like an old throwback to like Ben Cooper Collegeville days with the shirt, and the same with the pumpkin, and then the witch is like a dress.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so cool. I like all the Halloween 3 stuff.
Yeah, anything Halloween.
Yeah,
3.
anything Halloween.
We're the
3
first to
is
license
insane.
it.
Yeah.
We were the first
I
company
mean,
to license it. It was in
Trick
the
or Treat
vault.
Studios is the reason why people give a shit about that movie now.
Yeah.
Like because
it's the
I remember
masks.
back when I was a completist. If it was Halloween 3,
Yeah,
I
you were
owned
like,
it. You know, like anything. If it was any T-shirt, anything that ever got released, like I owned it. And then now it's like every week there's a 4 new T-shirts for Halloween 3 or something. Like it's like it's super popular.
2, 3, like 2, 3, Darkman, and the Funhouse were all in the vault. And then we got it out of the vault. And
Well, no one ever. We were the first ones to ever license Halloween 2. No one ever. They didn't even know they had it. I had to like educate Universal. Like I went back to the trademark copyright office and had to show them that they owned it. They had no idea.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
because no one was knocking on the door.
Yeah, Halloween 3 is pretty fun. I mean, I remember when the film came out, people were pissed because there was no Michael Myers. I mean, obviously, they probably should have called it Season of the Witch, and
I don't
probably
think so.
would have found
It was ahead
a
of its
following.
time.
I like
sure.
that it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Like it is the third movie, and there's 3 masks. There's a lot of reasons why it's Halloween 3, and it's like that one feels more like the first one, like than the second one. The second one seems like a cash grab to me, whereas the third one, it's like, okay, we're all back and we're putting passion into it, and it's got the spirit of Halloween more than any of.
Well, Michael's in
Halloween.
it. He's just in
I
a
love
commercial.
And Dick Warlock. So
Yeah.
That's right. He was the robot-y thing.
But like Tommy Lee Wallace is the writer director on it, and he's the one that made the OG mask and all that, and was on it and edited the first movie and did the production design or whatever. It's like, and then Carpenter's back. He's doing the music with Alan Howarth, and it just seems like everyone wanted to make that movie. I feel like no one even wanted to make Halloween 2.
it felt
but
like
everyone wanted to make
we have
Halloween
a
3.
hospital available for a few nights.
Yeah, and
What can we write around that?
Well, the whole
I love
intent of
Halloween
it,
too.
They were going to make they were going to do a different story every year.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was
It'll be
the
a little
original
trick-
intent.
people look back
anthology.
on it now and they're like, well, they shouldn't have called it Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It's like, well, but if it was successful, if people got onto it and we had like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, that was the Michael Myers story, and then we have all these other Halloween movies.
it killed them off for sure.
Yeah, if you looked at it different, then it could be really cool.
That's
but
because the fan base has grown so much over the years. Back then, the fan base was much smaller.
It sure was.
If it wasn't in the TV guide,
Yeah.
or if it didn't come on, you catch it on TV real fast. You didn't. The internet's created a lot of things.
Yeah, but it's cool too. But it's fun that it's only that one though. It's like this like special gem. But I always disagree with people who say that it shouldn't have been called Halloween 3. I'm like, no, it's not called Michael Myers 1 and Michael Myers 2. It's Halloween.
It would have made more money at the box office if it was just called Season of the Witch, or it might have been small. But the people were going thinking that they were getting some sort of sequel. Because I remember asking Erwin, how did Michael survive? Like, he was like, oh no, it's a different story.
Yeah. I just like, the very first scene, he's like, the Halloween 3, that's right, 3 masks. Like, it says it's a joke. It's like, we know what we're doing. We're doing this whole new thing. Get on board, and no one did.
Yeah, 2 of those masks were already done. Those were the Dawn Pose ones.
Yeah, the skull and the witch.
Yeah, the pumpkin mask was the one that was, what they call that? Jolly Pumpkin or something like that? What was the original name for that?
I can't remember.
Smiling Jack or something.
I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah. You don't like 3?
No, I love it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The name, well, there was Smiling Jack was the later
Blu-ray.
one. Yeah, the later one was Smiling Jack. The earlier
right, Smiling
one,
Jack.
I don't know. I mean,
Agatha.
Pumpkin.
And
yeah, because it was.
I mean, it's in the ad. There's a few ads, but
yeah. That Hagatha mask is one of my favorite masks of all time, and like the original, the 81 with like the olive green looking.
Well, I have the vinyl one. I have the vinyl, and I have a blank that a friend gave me.
That's cool.
The vinyl one, doesn't it predate?
I'm not sure. I think they might have done the vinyl. The original Hagatha predates.
Predates that.
Yeah.
Masks.
Yeah, love masks. Do you have any questions about masks?
I mean, I had a bunch, but
you asked them in the car when you picked them up.
Well, I guess one that might be somewhat interesting to some people, like I'm a huge fan of just like latex rubber masks. Again, like I said, I'm a collector, so that's how I like my masks. But lately, the silicone masks have been getting really popular, like for haunts and like background characters and TV shows and stuff. It's a whole, like base like $500 or whatever. Is it something that you're ever interested in pursuing, doing silicone masks, or just stick to latex?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up with silicone masks. I think they're useful. I think they can look really cool. There's some great companies out there.
Yeah.
But I still like latex masks. I still like VHS tapes.
Same, man.
Yeah, it was hard enough to get people.
I still like fire, just making a fire and watching the fire. But
Right, yeah.
I like the things I grew up with.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a kid in 20 years making silicone masks because he grew up with them.
Yeah.
But I just love the smell of like latex and like the old Ben Cooper smell. Just I don't know. I've made silicone masks for movies, but I never really enjoyed it. So more power to those guys.
Right. Yeah.
It was also hard enough to get retail stores to buy ours, right? Because when we came along, our stuff was almost 2 times what everybody else was selling stuff
nobody
for.
wanted to wear masks.
Yeah, and I still get those comments. Like today, I was showing a guy one of the Fear Street skulls, and he asked me how much it was, and I told him the wholesale, and he's like, "Oh, that's too much," and I'm like, "Here we go again."
Yeah.
Like I didn't even answer.
Well, there'll be someone else.
But really, what I wanted to say was,
now silicone is
that
great
why
for
our booth is this crowded? Because everything in here is too much and doesn't sell,
right? Yeah.
Right, and our competitors shrank like significantly, like 400% down. Yeah, right. You know who we're talking about? Yeah. So like, I don't know. That model, that cheap model, is way smaller now, right? And the better quality model were one of the biggest booths in the building. So so I don't know if it's too expensive anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but and also, it's not like we're making this incredible margin. We probably all make the same margins. We just Justin and I had always, we wouldn't sell anything that we wouldn't want.
Yeah, and that's what I like a lot about the company is that, and like just we're saying, like with it's about making what you want, what you enjoy, and so it's like silicone masks are cool, and I kind of feel that same way too. Where it's like they're cool, but I just don't really have an interest in making them or collecting them because it's not what I love, and
they don't display
my
well
opinions
either.
My opinions are they're great
tear.
for movies, for movement. They're great for haunts. But once you take it off and put it on something, it just kind of somebody's going to watch this and probably make a display that goes under. I think someone has by now, but where there's a set of eyes in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think to that, like when like Immortal sells a mask at a con, they give them their display bust with it.
Right. Yeah.
So like if you buy a mask from them, you get a bust. So I guess and yeah, they've got some really cool masks.
Yeah.
Nice.
But again, I have some friends that sculpt for them, and I really like some of the stuff that they've done, and it makes me like want them. But I've never been interested in really getting one. Like, but I think that again, they're really cool for haunts and for like background characters and TV and stuff. You know?
I was gonna wear one for a long time. I guess it depends on the character you're trying to be.
Yeah,
they are hot as hell too.
I think anything on your head's pretty hot.
Yeah, but my God,
like silicone doesn't breathe. I mean, foam kind of breathes.
Yeah,
but it soggies up like a
I
sponge.
have no idea how I guess we can call him Tobias now. How Tobias wears that his ghost masks that long, like the freaking 2-hour meet and greet, and then a 2-hour show. No wonder he's so damn thin.
Well, having his ears exposed, I'm sure
he
helps.
must lose 10 pounds of water.
Maybe I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
just your head will shrink.
Yeah. Well, I just gotta get rid of this.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I don't know. My hat's off to him because I have a couple silicone masks back in the days when Rusty was doing them.
Yeah,
and they're pretty cool too. But and they're very collectible. But man, you wear those one Halloween night and you are just baked because they are really hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of that. It's almost like that's like what I wanted to hear, as like a fan, because I'm the same way where I would never want to create anything that I don't want to own. Like you should just be make the things
Neither
that you
would
like.
We.
Yeah.
I've seen people collecting silicone masks, but not a lot. They use them more than they collect them, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
because if you're a haunt guy and you want to have some good neck movement and a little bit of facial movement, that's probably the way to go, unless you're going to be. I think masks work well for serial killer type characters, and all the best horror movies, someone was wearing a latex or a vinyl mask.
Yeah. Even Funhouse for like the first half,
he's a latex mask.
Yeah, and then he takes it off.
I
and
love
the
that
kid at the
mask.
beginning's wearing the latex clown, the Giallo tribute.
That Frankenstein,
yeah.
So sweet.
So good.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Been trying to get Universal to allow us to release it, but for some reason they don't have the rights to that look.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's really cool.
Yeah, that mask was
Who made that?
Savage Eye.
Yeah, that thing is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I do too.
That's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites.
That was a
sure.
great Tobe Hooper film, and my whole life I've always been a big fan of carnivals and carnies. I have friends that are still do the lost art of sideshow, and one of them does a show in Vegas. You should go see. His name's Zamora, the Torture King. His real name's Tim Cridlin. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So anything where there's a carnival or a fun house or
you seen Freaks, Todd Browning's Freaks?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
It's right up my alley. I love that music.
Yeah.
That sound of the carnival music and yeah. So that's what I like about Rob Zombie's concerts, because he grew up in the carnival. His parents were carnies, and he grew up working the carnival circuit. That's why it's fun to go to his shows, because it's like a mad carnival.
Yeah.
My family owned the carnival.
With killer music.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you care?
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, in Michigan they owned carnivals. So when I grew up, when I was really little, because my grandfather would bring stuff home, and it would just be E.T. dolls for that's probably 82
for the prizes.
E.T. dolls for the prizes, and there would be Pink Panthers and all kinds of. So he'd let us pick stuff out. Me and my cousins pick out, whatever we wanted. But when they were on hiatus, he was mostly in Michigan with his brother running those carnivals. So when I did haunted houses, a lot of the people that worked the haunts were people he brought from Michigan that he ended up making kind of like family.
So
cool. His dad also did haunts, really cool.
Yeah, we did haunts and on the flea market in Alabama.
Is that?
Well, you know of our flea market, Uncle Charlie's flea market. Yeah,
So
ours.
Is doing the haunts and all that, like, so were you already like, can you remember a time where you weren't interested in like making masks or whatever? Like what, like, because it's such a weird for other, like, you know, like if I meet someone and like they find out that I like make masks, it's like such a weird thing. They've never met anyone else who does that.
Kids today are lucky because they can want to make masks. When I was a kid, you just want a mask. You know, you want a cool mask. You didn't know you can make them.
Yeah.
So it took until I was about 16 or no 12 is when from books I figured out, okay, you can do it like this. So the first mask I made when I was 12, but by 16, I had videos.
Is that the Dark Man one?
Yeah, that was about 16, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You still have a copy of that?
Yeah. My brother has a finished one, and I have a blank one.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't know
He did
that
another version for us.
Right, yeah.
I've
seen them
know.
both. Your
both
brother
cool.
sent me a picture of his one time, actually.
I was a kid back then. I'd heard stories of people doing a Mickey Mouse cutout in their yard, and Disney comes by with the police and grabs it. So I was really careful not to do exactly Dark Man.
Right.
You know, even back then. But then as I got older, I realized you can kind of make whatever you
Probably
want.
do it now. Universal would never know.
Make whatever you want if nobody knows. Or
Yeah. You can make whatever you want. It's can you sell
it's just
it?
You sell it and you get in trouble, maybe.
We can have this guy make a mask for us.
Yeah, maybe. If he's a good.
I saw who he's making.
Yeah, when he's good.
When he's good.
I saw him.
I love the honesty.
When he approves, you know.
I was hanging out with the Lord. I saw that one. It looked good, man. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate
It
it.
was the first one I walked up to. I said, I like this one.
Oh, really?
And he goes,
Awesome.
oh, yeah, that's the dude from Nightmare Toys. I'm like,
Cool.
why are you making it for us?
Well,
He doesn't want big distribution? Fine.
Aw.
No, yeah.
It's up to him anyway.
He knows.
If it were up to me, I'd hire everybody.
Yeah, he would. He would
Yeah.
make my life a nightmare.
Yeah, no. Justin always knows who to call when he wants a subpar mask.
Well, no. It's very
Aw.
specific to what... He knows what artists work very specific for what we need.
Yeah. No. I mean, I've always had a tremendous amount of respect. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure eventually one day I'll do something that's good enough, and Justin will want it, and he'll see it, and he'll call me. I mean, you've always been super cool to me from the very beginning. Like when I was doing, like, just trying to figure out, like, how do I make paint or anything. Like, always super supportive, and I mean, I already know that. You know, Justin will see everything that I put out. So if he likes it, he'll call me. You know, I don't have to. So I'm never wondering, like, well, maybe I should send it to him and see does he like it or not. It's like, no, if he wants it, he'll get it.
He'll
you know.
call you.
Yeah, we met at Monster Palooza. That was the Pasadena one, right?
Yeah. It was a few years ago. It was before all the craziness. So.
You had a booth there?
No, Justin had a booth there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
We both did. Right? He was right across
you were
from us.
across.
Yeah. And then Aaron Lewis had one right across from
Always
you.
right across.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
then Russ is to his right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. Everybody's like, well, Dylan said this. I'm like, who is Dylan?
Oh, we landed on
Who
it.
is Dylan? Like, I don't know who Dylan, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, no one knew me in the whole community, so I was just like, well, I'll just play. I had built this character from rock and roll, and I was like, well, I'll just bring that over, and that can be whoever I want. It's like a mask. No one knows that I'm Dylan from Las Vegas or whatever. It's just like, hey, I'm Shelly. I make masks. Like, well, okay.
So I knew Shelley.
Yeah, right.
So now you're Dylan from Nightmare Toys.
Right.
Lights,
Yeah.
man.
Depends. It depends on the day. I like to keep things confusing.
Dylan.
Anytime. Yeah. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know what it's from. Don't worry. Yeah, Predator. I've got it.
Yeah, I've never heard
You
that
son
one.
of a bitch.
Never, yeah.
Well, before we wrap it up, I do have a question for both y'all. Being a horror fan, I started watching movies when I was 5. So when did y'all get into horror movies?
You want me to go first?
No, yours will be long.
It won't be that long.
Well, the first horror movie I can remember was Halloween. My Aunt Roxanne was babysitting me. And the scene I remember was him crashing through the closet. And I was like, what is that? She said, oh, that's the boogeyman. So that stuck with me. And then the other movie I loved so much that nobody ever talks about is HBO movie Fortress.
Yeah, we've talked about Fortress.
So Fortress
Yeah, you've talked
is
about
about these bank robbers in Australia that they kidnap these kids, but they're all wearing these creepy masks. And
Yeah.
it took a lifetime to get those masks.
They're Caesar masks.
Yeah.
You have all of them.
Yeah, finally have all of them.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I love Fortress.
I'm gonna have to check
cool
that out. I
stuff.
haven't seen that movie.
I keep meaning to bring it for you to borrow. I brought it for like 3 other people here at work. Have all borrowed it from
What's
me,
it on
but not you.
DVD?
Well, when you bring my Christmas
it's no
movies back,
Blu-ray.
you can
No.
bring me Fortress.
Yeah, and the DVD is the barest of bones it can
I
possibly
like it
be.
that way.
Yeah.
See, I don't like. I'm that guy that I don't like HD that much. I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of movies these days look
After that TV I gave you?
I turned that TV to. I put my VCR.
Oh.
They gave me a OLED,
4K OLED
4K OLED.
Sony.
These tapes are gonna look great on this.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
no,
Sony.
they're
But
not.
just the packaging
great.
of it, though.
The thing
it's
is,
the
though,
thinnest, cheapest, ugliest packaging.
Well, the thing is, I grew up in a video store. I
Yeah.
rented movies. I watched them. That's how they look.
Me too, and I still like 4K.
Stop taking them and stretching them out and painting things in the back. Like now,
Well,
I
I don't want to think I'm
No,
on
I agree
set.
with
I want
that,
to watch
totally.
a movie. I don't want to like watch what
I'll
it
go
looks
back and
like.
forth.
supposed
I
to
love
be
Blu-rays. I love
Yeah.
Blu-rays. I haven't gotten into 4K yet. I don't care that much.
Same.
I'm a cinema guy. I like film. I like fuzz. I don't like.
1080 is enough for me. 1080 looks great.
Yeah.
I don't need
like
anything
seeing
past
every,
1080.
I don't need to see
4K
every
's pretty
pore of the
damn
face.
cool.
I don't
Yeah.
need the details.
4K is pretty cool.
I don't know. I think it's cool for sports or animation, but for a movie, I want it to look like a movie. And if it looks like I'm there, it's not a movie.
Texas Chainsaw. Well, it looks
Well,
the
that's
same
supposed to
on
be
most
grainy,
movies,
yeah.
but that Funhouse, Halloween, they all look better on VHS
Yeah,
to me.
I
You can
totally
see more, and that's if you're going to make a product. Yeah, that's great. You'll put the Blu-ray in. And, okay, I had that there, but I really like filling in the blanks in my
Yeah.
mind. Now everything's so spelled out for everybody.
The copy of Halloween I have is really dark. You can like hardly see anything.
They're scarier, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like The Howling. My favorite way to watch The Howling is on VHS.
Yeah, The Thing is great on
Yeah.
VHS. I mean,
Which version?
the Carpenter. I
Okay.
mean, I like both.
I
but
like the original.
I
And
like, I like the prequel the best. I'm kidding.
I was like, oh.
There was a lot
I've
of
agreed with everything
You
you've
know,
said
a lot of
until
great
now.
You didn't like the digital remake?
There was a lot of great stuff in there that got cut, though.
They tried,
Mikey
yeah.
and
They
all
tried to
those
make a
guys
good
did.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, some people did. It's one of those. It's kind of like the Wolfman or whatever, where it's like there was some people that were trying to make a
They're
good
trying to
movie,
make a
and there's a
good
lot of
movie.
people holding people back. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that production was a nightmare.
Yeah.
To talk to anybody who was on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those movies. There's so many movies I loved as a kid, but American Werewolf in London, I know I had to call someone in to finish it with me. I was a little kid, and yeah, those left an impression.
Yeah.
So yeah, how about yourself?
It was probably, well, my dad was,
Yeah, that's a funny story.
president of distribution.
So I collect media
Yeah.
tapes.
Yeah.
And one day Chris says, "Well, when my dad was at media,
He was
I was
president of
I
me.
was like, your dad was at media."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So no, your dad was at
So
media.
I had all of those on beta.
Oh, cool.
That's what I had. I had a
Yeah.
beta too.
So but he was also at Paramount, and then he went to Bryanston, and they did a bunch of those low budget horror movies
For the mob.
And yeah,
Bryanston.
totally. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was one of the ones he distributed. I mean, I remember Irwin, bringing. We watched Halloween in the screening room. The first time I saw it, didn't have the music.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you
That
like
was
it?
odd.
You can be
Yeah,
honest.
it was way better with the music, of
Right,
course.
yeah.
But it was so, and he would take me to all. I mean, I saw The Exorcist in the theater, Jaws, Alien. So that was all, from my dad. But, I mean, they did a lot of other great pictures that I like too.
Fire.
Fire.
His dad wrote and produced a movie called Fire.
Yeah. And he,
I didn't believe
ended
him
up
at first.
marrying Lynn Teal,
I had a tape and
the
I opened it
star.
up and there's a list of all the movies from media and
and my
Fire was on
dad's
there.
in it
Yeah.
too. He plays the pimp.
No.
Well,
There
if
you
you're
go.
going to cast
Suitable.
yourself as anything,
Yeah.
isn't
No,
it?
he's
You're going to be a
the pimp.
pimp.
Yeah, no, it was pretty funny. But yeah, so horror movies, they've just been around me my whole life, and I've always been attracted
Day
to
one,
them.
yeah,
So
me too.
I always had to sneak around and watch them. I wasn't allowed.
I used to live in Westwood, and I would go to the Westwood video store, and they had the best selection of horror, and I just rent.
Those were
anything.
4Ks.
They weren't then. Yeah,
And you
they
loved
were
them.
And you loved them,
beta,
yeah.
You loved them.
New VHS, new beta.
Cool thing is a
Yeah.
grandparent will let you rent anything.
Yeah, well, that's the first horror movie I ever saw was The Exorcist. It was at my grandparents' house. It was like 4 a.m, and she had like a VHS TV with like a little plug-in VHS thing. And I was like, "What's this?"
Yeah,
Terrified.
Awesome. Excellent day for an exorcism.
Right.
Although I always like The Shining. I'd say I love The Exorcist, but that's in my top 3. But I thought The Shining and Halloween.
Oh yeah,
The Shining was so cool.
The Shining's just one of the best movies ever made. Period.
It's hard to believe that Stephen King didn't like it for a long time. I think he's changed his tune on it now, but
he was just so mad about all the changes. I think it just wasn't the way that he saw it, but he made it
was
better.
Stanley Kubrick.
It's the ones that came after.
It was Kubrick.
Right.
I like the TV movie though.
The TV movie.
I like the TV movie.
I
know.
actually didn't
I know
mind.
what you.
I actually
I
like Doctor
both.
Sleep.
I haven't seen Doctor Sleep.
thought
I've
it
heard
was
really
good.
good things,
Yeah.
but I've
It's
just
better than the book.
Was that
Yeah.
Flanagan? Mike Flanagan? He did the Haunting in Hill House. Is it the same guy? He do Doctor Sleep?
I don't know, but it was good. I liked it. I mean, that's a hard act to follow.
I'll
I
have
would
to
not
watch it. I
do
mean, a lot of
sequel or remake to a Stanley Kubrick movie. You got to be out of your mind.
yeah. But that movie's. You've seen the documentary Room 237
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
It's like
the one that his daughter did.
No, that's like the behind the scenes thing, right? Just
Yeah.
like on the set,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is also really cool.
Really good.
But no, there's a documentary called Room 237 that came out like less than 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's all about all the conspiracies around the movie.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
it's just when you watch it, it's crazy because it's like even if 0 of those conspiracies are true, it's insane that a movie has so much content and there's so much like just stuff in it that you can draw all those insane conclusions around
Everybody
it.
in that
And then
picture
make a
is
documentary on it.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Like the guy who played the bartender.
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that scene in the bathroom when he's talking.
That's
to
one of the
Grady,
chilliest scenes. Yeah,
just amazing.
It's just
you
like
know, the whole thing.
yeah.
That's just fabulous.
I just love movies with really good tone, and that movie has like just tone.
I was scared when I was a kid of that lady coming out of the bath.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
and it's like her
unfortunately-
back. It's like he looks in the mirror and sees the back, like just that
Yeah, it was
rotting
heinous. Yeah,
skin. It's
the
like,
thing that
so
totally
gross
bums
looking.
me out is we had the Kubrick collection,
yeah,
and Warner Brothers doesn't represent the Kubrick estate anymore, so there is no licensed Kubrick merchandise anymore. So that's a big bummer.
So is the Dogman out?
It's done. Yeah.
Right,
If you
yeah.
haven't gotten it now, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did because I was
No
waiting for that
Shining
thing for a
axes,
long
nothing?
Yeah,
time.
Megan did a great note.
It's
nothing.
it's amazing. That's
Yeah,
one of my
she
favorite
did
mass
a
tots ever put out.
Great
You
job.
didn't use it, did you?
Yeah.
Use it?
So
What do you mean?
it's funny. It's funny too because I've tried really hard to get in some contact with a representative at the Kubrick estate, and if you ask Warner Brothers to say, well, we don't have any contact information, which is insane,
Right.
Because they were sending the checks to somebody,
Right.
But I think they're hoping that eventually they'll re-sign with them, and hopefully they will, because I would love to bring that stuff back.
Yeah. Because that Roger the Dogman mask, we were waiting a long time for that to finally come
hair.
out.
The hair was a
the hair,
nightmare.
yeah.
Well-
but it came out really good.
Yeah,
I
it's
love that
really
mask.
She used really nice hair that you can find in LA. Then we had to find truckloads of that
Right,
same
yeah.
ballpark kind of hair. It's
Right.
kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
When
when
it's like the Myers thing where all the naked camels. Like
Yeah.
we had to every country that
Right. That was
produced
back in
camel
the
hair
Halloween
produced
days.
camel hair for us
Yeah.
for those masks. So I just imagine there's
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
same-
a
naked
sea of
camels out
naked
there.
camels.
Unfortunately, CBS, got sold to Viacom, and so they've changed a lot of things too. So the Star Trek stuff, Twilight Zone, Scary Stories to Tell in
Yeah.
the Dark, those are all done.
Oh,
Really?
So
no
if you
Talking
haven't gotten
Tinas.
those yet,
Yeah, and we just finished her.
I know.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
If you can get one, you better
I don't
get it.
know. Maybe
Well, we may revisit.
if we want to deal with that minimum guarantee per film.
It's just that you want so much money for something that's kind
not
of doing well.
Yeah.
But
it's
sometimes
What
you
drives
let
me
some things
crazy
go.
is there's no risk for them, really, right?
Right.
They'll say there's a cost of a contract, but don't get me started on that. Yeah, because you don't pay people per contract, right?
Right.
You,
Yeah.
you pay them. You pay to have a contract department. So if you are under your capacity, then there's no cost for an additional contract. And then you ask them, "What's your capacity?" And they're like, "We don't know." Maybe you should, because you're turning down a lot of good business.
There's not a button to push for that answer.
Right. But anyway, we've got other stuff that's cool.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, we drop some things and we add some new.
And then
things.
maybe we'll come back. You never know.
Yeah.
But I really did like that Twilight Zone license.
Yeah.
And I really like the Hellfest too. That one's gone too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
that's one of John's favorite.
That I can promise you. I mean, no one's ever going to pay the minimum guarantee for. Which I thought that was a really good movie.
Yeah,
actually.
I did too. I liked it.
It was not marketed well because there was, I think there was like another one called Hellfest, but it was another Hell something.
Hell on Wheels?
Bloodfest.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And people got confused.
Yeah, it was almost,
The premise was sort of,
that happens a lot.
Like
Zeitgeist is weird.
Hellblazer, Hellraizer, they call it Constantine instead of Hellblazer.
Blazer,
yeah.
Which they should have called it Hellblazer.
Yeah.
You ever read the Steve Dillon and Garth Ennis?
Yeah, hell yeah. I have the
so
originals.
Cool. Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. Preacher and anything Garth does is great.
Yeah, he's great.
Didn't he did
The Boys?
I love The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Great show.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we are going to wrap up this episode, and we would like to say thank you very much to Chris Zephro and Justin Mabry for joining us.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
And we will see you next time. Stay spooky. Bye.